50-win seasons, conference finals, a total culture shift. And still, the Knicks said, not good enough. They just fired Tom Thibodeau, their most successful coach in 25 years. From 2012 to 2020, 6 Knicks coaches had 238 wins combined. Thibs nearly matched that alone with 226 in just 5 seasons.
So Bridges is doing it all now. Made his last 2 shots.
Anunoby to Robinson. Beautiful, unselfish play.
Tom Thibodeau led the Knicks to back-to-back 51 seasons for the first time since 1995. 3 straight trips to at least the conference semifinals. A top 5 offense, their best since 2000. He took a team once viewed as a league-wide joke and turned them into legitimate contenders. But despite that progress, the Knicks just fired him. Why? Because New York doesn't want progress. They want banners. And even with 52 wins and a conference finals appearance, the front office believed Thibs had taken this group as far as he could. The Knicks had the worst bench scoring in the entire NBA at just 21 points per game, dead last. 5 points worse than even the struggling Lakers. That's a problem. When the starters sat, the offense evaporated. So now, the Knicks are betting it all on change. Mike Brown is in as the new head coach, and the front office believes a few critical roster additions will unlock the next level. But let's be real, they're not just changing the voice on the sideline, they're doubling down on a flawed core that never fully gelled. Their big 5 of Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby, Hart, and Towns. Despite the hype, he posted a negative net rating for most of the year. The Knicks did make real noise, knocking out the defending champion Celtics in the second round, but the cracks were always there. Now, the league is watching closely. Because if New York actually gets this next move right, the NBA might be facing a serious Knicks problem.
More Hart now, orchestrating.
Looking for the connection with Robinson. Hart then takes it away. Feeds Robinson.
Think about this. 5-star players making over $150 million combined. And they couldn't even outscore their opponents. In the playoffs against Indiana, heading into Game 6, that group had a net rating of -33. That's not a typo. The Knicks' best lineup was getting torched by a team they finished above in the regular season. So what went wrong? First, the pace. The Knicks played at just 97.2 possessions per game, 25th in the league. In a modern NBA, where teams like Indiana sprint the floor and apply pressure from the jump, New York looked stuck in cement. Thibodeau's grinded-out system may have thrived in 2004, but in 2025, it's a liability. Every possession turned into a slow, painful slog. The clock would wind down, and Jalen Brunson, brilliant as he is, would be forced into hero mode. And while he was the clutch player of the year, no one wins a title running isolation plays every possession. Then came the spacing disaster. Despite having legitimate shooters, Thibs never committed to a true 5-out offense. He insisted on outdated lineups like Josh Hart at the 3 and Towns in the post, then leveraging spacing. Smart defenses exposed it quickly, put a center on Hart, wings on Towns, and forced the Knicks into a clogged paint. The result: New York ranked 22nd in 3-point attempts and 24th in corner threes. That's bottom-tier shooting volume for a team that supposedly had range. And despite shooting 41% from deep, Miles McBride only saw 19 minutes per game. That's not just a bad decision. That's coaching malpractice.
Toppin is following. Brunson inside. Kicks it on the wing. McBride 3.
Then there's the minutes meltdown. It might have been Thibodeau's biggest mistake. Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart ranked 1st and 2nd in total minutes played across the entire NBA. OG Anunoby was 8th. No 5-man lineup in the league. Logged more time together than the Knicks starters. By January, the signs of wear and tear were already visible. By March, they were completely gassed, and by the conference finals, they had nothing left in the tank. Thibodeau's solution: play them more. It was déjà vu from Chicago, where he famously ran Derrick Rose into the ground. He didn't learn. He never adjusted. Then there was the Brunson Towns disconnect, arguably the most disappointing storyline of the season. On paper, it should have been a dream duo. Brunson's elite pick-and-roll play paired with Towns' shooting and versatility. In reality, they looked like two guys who just met at a pickup game. Throughout the entire Indiana series, Brunson assisted Towns only 5 times. Their chemistry was non-existent. Opposing teams didn't even need to overthink it. They just switched the pick-and-roll. Towns rarely punished smaller defenders in the post, and Brunson struggled against bigger wings. Their combined $90 million price tag only made the dysfunction louder against elite competition. It all unraveled. Knicks went 0-10 against top-tier teams like Cleveland, OKC, and Boston. That's not bad luck, that's exposure. Enter Mike Brown. This hire wasn't random. The Knicks chose Brown because he represents everything Thibodeau couldn't or wouldn't be. While both share defensive roots and come from the Popovich tree, Brown has evolved. He sat inside the Warriors dynasty. He watched Steve Kerr redefine modern basketball. Then he transformed Sacramento into a historic offense, posting a 118.6 offensive rating in his first year, the highest since 1996. This isn't just a coaching change. It's a philosophical shift.
Got it.
Under Mike Brown, Sacramento transformed overnight. They went from 29th to 3rd in pace, 22nd to 7th in three-point attempts, and built an elite, modern offense. He elevated De'Aaron Fox from promising to all-star. Alcimanis became the offensive hub, dishing out 7 assists per game. Even role players like Keegan Murray thrived in his space and pace system. Now, that offensive vision is headed to New York. At his introductory press conference, Brown said, "What this group did this past year shows their potential, not just defensively, but offensively too. I love their length and versatility. The ceiling is high on both ends, but his true superpower, adaptability." In Cleveland, he leaned into LeBron's isolation dominance. With the Lakers, he tried motion sets. In Sacramento, he built one of the most efficient and beautiful offensive systems in NBA history. His first year with the Kings, a 118.6 offensive rating, the highest ever tracked since 1996. "This is the Knicks," Brown said. "Madison Square Garden is iconic. I embrace the pressure, and he's not walking into a rebuild. He inherits serious talent. Yolan Brunson, All-NBA guard and clutch player of the year Karl-Anthony Towns, 4-time All-Star and one of the best shooting bigs ever Mikal Bridges, a two-way wing who defends 1 through 4 OG Anunoby, an elite defender with a growing offensive game Josh Hart, the hustle guy every contender needs Mitchell Robinson, a top 5 rim protector when healthy, but talent without structure is just potential." Brown's championship experience and elite offensive mind give this team a shot at something real, and the Knicks didn't stop at coaching. They had to fix the bench disaster last season. Just 21 points per game, dead last. The league average, nearly 38. That's a 17-point swing when the starters sat. Enter Jordan Clarkson, a walking bucket. He averaged 17 points in just 26 minutes last season. He's done it for 6 straight years, won 6th Man of the Year 2021, and thrives in pressure. He shoots 44.5% from the field, 34.5% from deep, and creates his own shot. He scores 1.02 points per isolation, hits 41% on pull-up jumpers, and can run pick and roll. When Brunson sits, Clarkson keeps the offense alive. Add in his veteran presence, versatility, and playoff experience, and for just over $3 million a year. That's a steal. But Clarkson isn't the only upgrade. Guerschon Yabusele.
How did he move out of the way, and then he dishes.
Yes, that Yabusele, the same one who looked out of place during his 74-game stint with the Celtics. But that was 6 years ago. The version returning from Europe is a completely different player. After dominating with Real Madrid and starring for France in the Olympics, Guerschon Yabusele brings something the Knicks badly need: front court versatility at 6'8". 260 pounds, he's built like a linebacker but moves like a wing. In Europe, he overhauled his game. His three-point shooting jumped from 32% to 43% over 4 seasons. He learned to attack closeouts, create plays, and became a legitimate two-way threat. Defensively, he can guard 2 through 5, combining strength, mobility, and high basketball IQ. In Madrid, he even became their closer in crunch time moments. And what makes Yabusele perfect for the Knicks? He solves multiple problems. When Mitchell Robinson inevitably misses time, the Knicks were left with Jericho Sims or Precious Achiuwa at backup center. Now they can slot in Yabusele as a small ball 5 who also provides floor spacing. These signings, Clarkson and Yabusele, won't make headlines or sell jerseys. But they directly address New York's biggest flaws: no bench scoring and no lineup flexibility. Over the past year, the Knicks have made 3 massive swings: trading for Mikal Bridges, trading for Karl-Anthony Towns, and firing Tom Thibodeau. The draft picks are gone. The financial wiggle room is gone. There's no plan B, but here's why this might actually work and why the NBA should take notice. Mike Brown's Kings played at 100.2 possessions per game, 3rd in the league. That pace suits Jalen Brunson perfectly, unlocking easier transition. Buckets and covering up the half-court
kicks it back out. Yabusele for 3, and
season.
he knocks it down.
More possessions mean more opportunities and less pressure on each trip down the floor. Under Mike Brown, expect true 5-out spacing that forces defenses to guard everyone. That opens driving lanes for Brunson and unleashes Towns as a stretch. Big, taking 8 to 10 threes a game instead of clogging the post. The offense transforms completely. Add in real bench depth, and the days of the starters being gassed by May are over. Fresh legs in June could mean Bridges and Anunoby actually playing elite defense deep into the playoffs. And then there's the Towns renaissance. Brown turns Sabonis into a passing hub without sacrificing his scoring. With Towns superior shooting, we might see him average 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists on 40% from deep. This isn't just improvement.
Brunson still gets into the paint.
Oh my God.
Floater's good. We're tied.
Then there's the Eastern Conference vacuum. Boston and Indiana just lost their stars to torn Achilles injuries. Giannis is surrounded by inconsistency. Philly still one Joel Embiid injury away from falling apart. The path to the NBA Finals hasn't been this wide open in years. And if the Knicks can finally put it together, if Mike Brown unlocks the offense, the bench holds up, if Brunson and Towns build real chemistry, this isn't just a playoff team. It's a championship contender that matters. Because in a league where New York has been irrelevant for 2 decades, a dominant Knicks team changes everything. Madison Square Garden becomes must-see TV again. Free agents finally consider the Knicks a real destination. The league's biggest market regains its power. That's the NBA's looming New York problem. Make no mistake, this is the Knicks' biggest gamble in decades. They fired the most successful coach they've had in 25 years. Brought in an offensive innovator. and address the lack of bench depth that sank them last postse. I saw it. But unlike Tom Thibodeau's early days, Mike Brown isn't walking into chaos. He's got an all-NBA guard in Brunson, a sharpshooting big in Towns, elite wings like Bridges and Anunoby, real bench production from Jordan Clarkson, versatility from Guerschon Yabusele, and an organization finally acting like the big market. Giant it should be. The question isn't if they'll be good. They will be. The real question, can they be great? Will this be the year New York finally breaks through? Or is it just another classic Knicks overreaction? Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more smart, bold NBA content.